And so I want to go back to Brian for a second. So you talked about, your sophomore year, that being the year where you started really thinking about your Black identity. You didn't have a brother-to-brother your first year to really know what that is. So when this opportunity presented itself to be a part of this founding group for brother-to-brother, what made you say yes to that?
So as Deonte probably knows, sophomore year was just like a breaking year for me. I wasn't doing what I thought I was going to be doing. I was in the midst of wanting to change majors and everything. And so when the opportunity first came about for Brother to Brother, I didn't know anything about it. I really was just like, okay, that sounds cool. I mean, I've never heard of a group like this at Clemson, black males. And for me, freshman year, I didn't really hang out with too many students of color. I was mostly hanging out with like white students, females a lot too, because I was an education major, so that's all in my class. So it was interesting when he said that, and I took that on, and I met these group of guys, and I was just like, okay, this is weird. This is out of my comfort zone. I don't really relate to some of these people or some of these guys. I just didn't know what to think about it. And then he wanted me to be president as well, so that was also just like intimidating. But I think he believed in me so much that really gave me the confidence I needed, and not only just with serving as president brother to brother, but just in my own life, because I wasn't confident at the time. I was overweight, I was losing weight at the time, so it was just a lot of things I was playing a different role in my confidence and just my self-esteem, and that really helped me and it boosted me up. So now I can say, like, I'm thankful for him for giving me the opportunity, because at first I really wasn't looking at it. I was just like, I'll just do it because, Deonte's done a lot for me, so I'm going to do it, just for him. But I'm thankful for that.
Yeah. Now look at the lineage you've created by saying yes. And so I think that's also an important part of this, because, the leadership in Brother to Brother has been kind of unique, where you all have pretty much tapped your successor in some kind of way and helping them to step into this role. So talk about like what that was like, being able to know you could reach out to the person that led before you to be able to continue building Brother to Brother.
I guess that was drawn in me since I came after Brian. But honestly, it's kind of a lot what Brian said. I was really shocked when Deonte first asked me to be on the founding exec board as the vice president. So I was a freshman at the time. Brian was a sophomore. I didn't really know too much. I knew I wanted to be involved on campus. I knew I wanted to make a difference, leave my own legacy behind, inspire young men to try to do what they can for the community. But it was just really funny because coming in, I remember Deonte was like, yeah, I think you should do it. You talk a lot. And I was like, yeah, well, I do talk a lot. And he's like, I'm going to make sure that, you use that for something that's good. So I was able to use my public speaking ability and, leadership to be able to inspire other young men on campus to come together for the collective good that we were trying to do. So when it was time for Brian to be on his way out, I mean, there was nobody else really who could do, well, I mean, there were other people who could do it, but I mean, I felt like Brian had been grooming me at the same time, just picking up on little things about like what a forum is, trying to create a topic that's affecting the community, and it's a topic that affects everybody, and we're gonna be the ones to educate them on that. Or if it was just something as simple as, every social event doesn't have to be a party. We can get, the brothers on campus together, in the daytime and do something when everybody's not inebriated and everybody's sober. So it was just different things like that I never really thought about. And that was the thing that pretty much laid the blueprint for me. And then we ended up starting the Brother to Brother and Sister to Sister, our sister counterpart, formal. And that brought out a lot of people because a lot of people wanted to dress up and whatnot. So it's just doing little things to pique people's interest on campus really was the thing that led to the succession and made the program keep growing.
And I can just say, Erik stepped up a lot because I'm not as vocal as he is. So when I didn't want to speak, he definitely stepped up and did it. So props to you for that. You used it. You used your voice well, man.
There was a method to my madness. There was definitely a method to that dynamic in that first year. And so it was good to see y'all work so well together, because I don't think we would be where we are had y'all not been so cohesive those first few years with Brother to Brother.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of unique challenges that come with being a leader of a organization for persons of color on a campus that's a PWI. For example, I remember when I was membership chair, and Erik, he wanted me to help him with an event, I believe it was the Black History Month event. And that was the first time I had helped to lead an event of that scale. And I didn't realize all that went into it. I remember there was a time when we were wondering, are people gonna come? We were trying to set everything up on time. We were trying to make sure that things were where they needed to be. And I think that all these challenges, along with the unique challenges being that it's not, you would think that persons of color would stick out like a sore thumb, but in reality, a lot of times it's hard to find people that look like you on campus. So all that tied in, I think having that lineage and having that person that you can tap on is very important. Otherwise, you would feel lost and you would feel overwhelmed and you would feel like you don't know how to kind of proceed with the challenge that's in your hands. So I was very glad that I had Erik and I had Brian and I had Deonte. You have all these resources that you can reach out to make sure that you have a successful year.
Yeah, and I like the way that y'all talked about how you said you weren't very vocal at first, and how Erik, you were able to use your public speaking for good use, and how Kwajo, you just talked about how you've never been the leader of something that was so big, an event, and you had like difficulties navigating that as well. So I wanted to comment on that. I would like to say that, like Brian, I wasn't as vocal as a vocal person like Erik was before I got into Brother to Brother, but just being around a community of people like me really made me want to be more vocal, want to build more bonds at the university, and wanted me to speak out and be more of myself, connect with more people, and just try to be more of a mentor and try to help other people under me navigate Clemson, and also use their public speaking and be able to come out of their comfort zone as well. Also, like I said with Kwajo, when you said that you never had led like something so big before, I haven't been a president of an organization ever before, so this is my first time being president as well. I have done like ROTC before, Air Force ROTC, and I've been like flight commander, assistant flight commander, and all those different positions, but that's not like sole commander-in-chief, which is what a president is. And I feel as though the great connectivity between the presidents, as you see now, is what allows others to be able to step up and not be overwhelmed. Others to be able to step up and not feel as though that their voice isn't important, or that they'll have a difficult time navigating their resources, or finding people like them to be able to speak to, or just be around and get out of your comfort zone. I want to say that I think a lot of people have problems within their own families. Like I'll say for myself, my brother, I have a shout out to Tyreek. He is in the Air Force right now. He's on base in Germany, and that's why I carry this support the troops on my wrist for my brother. We didn't always have the best relationship, but we were able to build on that as we grew up. And I think about how, me and my brother didn't have the best relationship, and I always wanted to be able to stop others from not having the best relationships with their brothers. And that's all about what Brother Brother is about, building those bonds and building those relationships on campus. And that has been my biggest motivation to be president of Brother to Brother, and connect with the people in the university.
And I think about those bonds that you were talking about, and there was an event that Kwajo actually planned as part of his presidency, his executive board. It was the Shop Talk series, which had great turnout for those events. Our chief of police, deputy chief of police showed up. There were faculty, staff members there. And I got I think it was either a text or an Instagram comment from Brian, just remarking how great that was to see Brother to Brother still thriving so many years after he started this with his exec team.